Alright, what's up everybody? We're back. More Fire Emblem 6 Hard Mode Iron Man. This time we're on Chapter 5. This chapter it's very linear, but it can get kind of scary with the enemy density in the middle. And I was pretty confident going into this one. I kind of just figured I'd be on autopilot for most of the chapters, so I just actually ripped chapters 3, 4, and 5 all in one sitting. They're actually all in one video recording here. So, yeah, this is I would say a pretty exciting chapter because you get a lot of units to gain EXP. Rucker and Diek are going to be getting a ton of kills here. There's so many Brigand reinforcements. There's going to be a bunch to the left and then a bunch that come out later in the chapter to the right to kind of punish you for bringing all your guys to the boss area or to punish you for lagging behind. So there's actually two ways you can go in this chapter. You can rush it and go to the left. That door will automatically open if you stand next to it. But it spawns in some reinforcements as well. So I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm going the slow way. This is an Iron Man. We're going to go up through the top, which ends up still being pretty dramatic, right? You see a lot of combat here. I guess the, 4 enemies that come out when you do the gate method might be overall less combat than that. But I don't know. I've never gone that way in my whole life. It kind of scares me. So we're going to go the way that I'm just more familiar with. So what I'm doing is I'm sending my best combat units, which are Alan, Lance, Rucker, Diak, Marcus, and even Roy, honestly, up to the north and then around to the west. By the way, Rucker gained strength 2 for 2 right there. 11 strength Rucker at level 6 is insane. So I'm getting very lucky with him. And Rucker will be contributing so much to this run. Even if he didn't gain those points of strength, I think he still would, but he's doing great. But yeah, I'm sending my best combat units over this way. There's a lot of axe fighters. They're relatively inaccurate, especially now that I have my support triangles going. At least the Roy, Allen, Lance one. They're going to have next to 0 hit on my units. And that's awesome. So I don't really have to have much fear. Then I have Rucker and Diak on the forts, which makes them face next to no hit rate. And I'm going to send Dani onto the mountains because she can't really get hit by any units or by any enemies here. Lou's gonna chip and get another shitty level, just super tough. But, you know, I figured putting him on the mountain, he's basically not gonna get hit. Why not? We still have 2 healers who can act. And yeah, I start lining everybody up. I make another mistake in terms of support build limit by keeping Lot and Ward next to each other for a turn. Kind of tough. I make sure Chad has the less useful Iron Sword here because he's gonna sit and dodge a whole bunch of brigands on the forest tiles there. I think you might even actually see a fight or two in this chapter, just, you know, for dodge tanking. But now things are starting to get hot on the top, right? There's that mercenary. Mercenaries are so scary in this game, man. I think already they have something like 14 speed. And I can't double it even with Rucker. So I'm going to have to take him down with the mixture of Lance and Rucker. Now, I have Diak on a forest up there as well. I think really a big part of clearing out this enemy density is using the forest to your advantage and not letting your enemies get on them. You know, basic Fire Emblem shit, but still. Yeah. So I trade to make sure Rucker doesn't break his killing edge. Thani can't really make any sort of advance yet. And then I'm going to get Lot and Ward out of the danger zone. And also out of support range with each other. So yeah, you see all these zeros and single-digit hit rates. That's awesome. The Axe Fighters are very inaccurate. But you know who's not inaccurate is those Nomads that are coming my way. They also have a ton of speed. So if my units were behind on speed growths, even like Roy could get doubled, I think. They might have 11 speed, but I don't think these ones do, and I also don't think I let Roy get hit by them either. Oh my god, 3 for 3 on strength levels for Rucker. That is literally like every Fire Emblem 6 player's wet dream right there, bro. Like that is so fucking good for me. And now I rescue Lou off the mountain because the Nomads are much more accurate and they'd be able to kill him. They might even double him as well. Oh no, I think he has 8 speed. I have Diak go ahead and chip this guy. Stick Alan on the forest. Oh no, I think about doing it, but I think I'd chill for this turn actually. Just so I don't get run down by the Nomads. Yeah, moving Roy forward could be dangerous. I'll let these guys attack Diak. And yeah, Alan can live 2 Nomads, no problem. So now these guys are the main targets, right? Like the Axe Fighters, I'm probably just going to dodge them and they're not going to do a crazy amount of damage. But meanwhile, in the south of the map, we have these brigands starting to cross over the mountains and attack my group of shitters. So I'm going to send a Lou over there to help them out. Marcus, I actually don't send north like I had said initially. I forgot that I have him kind of on defense duty for this pack of shitters that stays toward the beginning of the map. I don't think I needed to do that. In hindsight, really the best play would be to put Chad on one of those mountains in the middle of the map and have him infinitely dodge tank. But I think I was just too scared, or I forgot that thieves could step on that tile in general. And yeah, that's kind of just my bad. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting everybody squared away in this position where the brigands aren't going to be able to target them. Again, it's really just Chad and Marcus that are going to do the bulk of the work here. I think Lot might contribute as well, and Lou. But it's less about killing these guys and more about just making sure they don't get any sneaky kills on me. I could have tried to cram all the units up to the north and just had the weak guys follow my other guys. But I was like, you know what, man? I don't really care. Like, I don't want to risk my main party getting overrun and having somebody good die when I could just, like, you know, play a little tower defense. Use that fort or forest as defensive terrain for myself. So I gotta tab out of the window to see what turn reinforcements start appearing or something like that. Or I just end up, yeah, playing again already. Again, sorry for all the random pauses in the game. I'm not, like, sitting here only looking at the emulator. You know, I am either responding to, like, some work messages or fucking someone in my house in real life talking to me, or checking the guide on Fire Emblem WoD throughout this run. I'm gonna hide Ward and Merlinus yet, make sure that they can't get too ranged. I also just don't want that brigand going over there, right? I want him to stay in this area and either give some EXP to Lou or just not threaten anybody. I see that perfect chip opportunity for Marcus. Now we're going to run that exact same strat on the next turn. The brigands do not one-shot Lou. He's got a little bit of bulk on him now. And yeah, he's just going to be the primary recipient of EXP here. I see this 5 crit rate, by the way, which is so scary. The mercs have crazy skill and speed, man. Like, see that 12 speed, 14 skill. Jesus Christ. These enemies, man, that's one of the toughest things about this game. And then I'm once again remembering, oh shit, like my Fanny has not gained any fucking levels. I need to get her to level 10 in just a few chapters. It's going to be the end of chapter 8 where she promotes. Or maybe the end of 8X, depending on what happens. So either way, gaining EXP is a main directive for this unit. I also want her to have some pretty good stats, although they don't really matter. But yeah, especially when you get strength on your first level with her, you're like, oh man, feeling good. I want to start fucking pumping some EXP into this unit. I go for the Javelin just because I'm trying to chip it for Roy, but it doesn't really matter. This guy's just so inaccurate. I think really what I want to ensure is that the mercenary doesn't get any sneaky kills. Now I'm looking at the turn count, I believe for the sake of the right fort reinforcements. I think they start on turn 15. So I just want to make sure that I'm not like lagging behind, or you know, that my board state is a mess by the time they come into play. Chad doesn't even kill him. How sad is that? I gotta move everybody out just because Chad can't pick up that kill right there. I wonder who he's even gonna go for. It's not Merlinus, or it would be Merlinus, I think, but then I have to chase him down. So I just want to make sure that once again this guy stays in this area. Speed's a kill to Lou. I get speed as well. Man, for some reason I really thought my Lou was bad early on, but he definitely was not. He was more than good enough, getting a decent amount of magic and speed. I realized Roy can't pick up this kill. Alan will, especially if he crits. And also that this mercenary right here does not move. So I'm going to let him attack me on his turn. Even Diak, man, like, he might face crit. I think he does face crit. And he will die if he gets crit, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just trying to play really carefully around this guy, and it ends up still being a risk, if I'm not mistaken. Even if you don't get doubled, and even if you're on the forest, okay, he does not face any crit. That's good. I also just realized that I pulled the Nomad on this turn. I think that was unintentional. So now I got a whole fucking problem on my hands. I have 4 mercenaries and a Nomad, who are really the 2 scariest enemy types. I used Roy's turn for a support. Not sure why. Maybe just to increase my hit rate on that guy. And I realized that since the mercenary doesn't move, that I'm probably best off just killing the Nomad. I think that's the rationale I'm using here. Yeah, we have Alan throw a Javelin, just praying it hits, and it does. Alan still 0 strength gains, which is insane. I check this mercenary's range because I want to make sure that he can't get Clarine. I'm pretty sure he cannot. I guess I didn't check his range. Maybe I was that confident. And I just start packing everybody into that little corner. Want them out of range of the reinforcements that spawn. Wow, 2 damage on Lance? That's insane. A speed level for Diak, that's huge. Almost dying right there, or going to, you know, one-shot territory, so I'm going to heal him. Clearing gets a pretty predictable luck level up. I realize that I don't die to the crit here, which is good. Yeah, these Iron Sword mercs are actually pretty weak. Maybe my Lance is doing well in defense. I just didn't notice. I keep the support triangles together. Finish him off with Rucker. And now, for the most part, the starting spawn is clear. But very quickly, we're going to get overrun by a ton of brigands from the northwest of the map. And then not long after that, they're going to start coming from the northeast of the map. So, since I only have so many, or actually, since I have so many sword units, I end up splitting things up. I have Roy, Allen, and Lance go off to the right, or to the left. They don't really even face hit chance from these enemies when they start coming out. And then Diak and Rucker are going to go off to the right. They will be able to be hit unless I use Forests, especially Diak, who has less speed and thus less avoid. But it's not a huge deal. It's not really risky at all. And I think I do keep Clarine around to heal them. I kind of regret not sending Ellen toward the north as well, because now I only have one healer on duty here. And these mercenaries, man, they're just so strong. Especially that one, the steel sword one. Thank God he doesn't move, and thank God he's on a forest. Or not on a forest. Because otherwise, he'd be really difficult to bring down. But now this is when the first Brigand Storm begins, I believe, turn 12. So I trade Lance to make sure he has an Iron Sword. And yeah, there's the first spawns right there. They can't make it to us in one turn of movement on the forest patch over here, at least toward the middle of it. But they do get there. So you kind of want to finish them off so they don't overrun you, but at the same time, they have 0 hit on all your guys. So you kind of can let them just start to swarm as long as your formation is good. Also, another thing that I want to bring up in this game that's worth mentioning, holy shit, my Lance is a beast, is that the reinforcements attack on the same turn that they spawn. You know, classic ambush spawn. If you've ever played a game that features that, it's kind of rare in the newer Fire Emblems, but it does exist, and it's something that's like a hallmark of this game. Like, yeah, you always got to be watching your back for the ambush spawns, because they're grimy, man. And that's why you have to play this game with a guide. The fucking Fire Emblem WoD guide is essential. Yeah, I'm just kind of taking my time looking at the guide, looking around the map. Everything's very under control, though. As you see, those 0 hit rates, it's going to be on Allen, Lance, and Roy. These axe guys are literally just fodder. The only thing that's annoying, though, is that I can't counter them, because I want to use swords to reduce their hit rates even further. And I'm going to just keep feeding the kills to Lance. At this point, I realize, alright, Lance is my primary cavalier here. I'm going to promote him at the end of Chapter 8. Allen, because promotion items are so scarce in this game, won't be able to promote until Chapter 16. Like, the very end of Chapter 15 is when you get the next Night Crest. And I'm also noticing, oh shit, the reinforcements from the right side are here. Oh my god, Rucker, 4 for 4 on strength. Dude. Dude, this is the best Rucker I've ever had, and, you know, that's saying something, because he's always good. Might also be the best Lance I've ever had. It's tough to call. I had a normal mode casual playthrough from a couple weeks before this, where my Allen was the one popping off and doing a ton of work. But yeah, this time around it was Lance who got all the glory. You see these low hit rates, 16. Like, I'm not really too afraid of that. Ever connecting to RN system in this game makes it so you're usually not going to get hit by those very low double-digit hit rates. Then I'm starting to realize there's just this clog of brigands here, but they also pose 0 threat to me whatsoever. The forest inhibits their movement from ever making it far enough to hit Clarine too, which is nice. Oh, a little crit from Diak. I wonder why they go for Diak instead of Rucker. Maybe he has less defense and they deal more damage, but I think Diak was doing more damage to them, so they just have a Death Wish. Maybe a higher hit chance. I don't know. I'm not like super familiar with the AI's tendencies in this game. Then I realized, oh wait, my Lance and Allen can use 2 range here because I only face 1% hit, which is basically 0. So I put the Javelin on Lance just so he can keep the kills coming. I am trying to pump EXP into him. Once again, Alan gains no strength. Jesus Christ. First mid-level I've seen on my Lance, though. He got luck, which is very important. He's a unit that can't actually face crit if you don't have supports in the mix. At a pretty modest DX level as well, but yeah, we're just slowly but surely working our way through all these reinforcements. They will persist until turn 20. We're almost at the end of the road, just a couple more. Just one rounding all these fucking clowns, and I trade over another Iron Sword onto Rucker just because he's ripping through them. So I want to make sure that we preserve that killing edge for as long as possible. We will get another one in Chapter 7, but we won't be able to buy them until Chapter 13, I believe. And yeah, just killing. Making some quick work of these enemies. Rucker being able to one-round most of them is great. Got a speed level. And 13 strength and 18 speed on an unpromoted level, what, 11 unit? I don't even remember. Not very high. Guy's such a beast. And now we have to pull this group of enemies at the bottom. They can be a bit troublesome. Just because they're so many different weapon types. I believe it's a mercenary and then a mage and 2 brigands. All of which hit pretty hard. None of your units really have good res in this game, even the Pegasus Knights. And Clarine, who has probably the best res, or Ellen, they can't fight back. So trade over the Gant Lance from Thani to Lance, or to Alan. Then I get my support triangle in place. I'm going to move them over all gradually so they build support while I am in the process of making my approach toward the boss. I'm going to get these guys one at a time. I think they have 2 move AI, which is why like half of them moved and half of them stayed. Like some of them have 2 move AI. I rescue Lance out. I guess just trying to be overly cautious here. Was he at low health? He might have been. I'm watching the footage back in 2x speed, and I use the spacebar a lot, so sometimes it can be a little hard to keep up with what I'm doing. But yeah, the mage and the mercenary do have 2 move AI, which means they'll move toward you if they can make it to one of your units within 2 turns. Alright, and once again, just bringing everyone over. Roy takes a nasty 15 to that mage. My god. Is that Hellfire? I think it was. Oh no, it's just fire. My god. Having so much damage on these mages early game is very stressful. I'm once again trying to find a way to feed Thani kills. I think I determined it's more reliable to go for that with the double slim lance, but I miss a 75 and she is once again just so behind on EXP compared to where I'd want to have her. And all my shitters are just kind of still chilling in the bottom right of the map. Like, yeah, we helped. Guess you did, buddy. I try to just pull this one brigand with Lance. He'll be fine. Actually goes for Alan, but wow, I don't double this one. It's kind of surprising. These enemies, man, they're pretty fast. Danny can't do shit. Alright, finish him off with Lance. And now this boss is a little scary. He has a killer axe, meaning that if he fights you at one range, he's going to do a fuckload of damage and potentially crit and kill one of your guys. So I have Roy bait out his hand axe, and that allows Lance a chance to swing on him with less risk. I really do not want to fight this guy when he has his killer weapon. Nobody in the game has enough crit evade at this point for me to make a safe play on him. So I just burn a turn. I think I'm getting my rescue chain set up to get Lance out of trouble. I see what the combat is like with the javelin. I decide it's not good enough, and I just continue the same strat. I'm also going to get my healer in place. Ooh, a magic level up for Clarine. Love to see that. And yeah, I'm still just like dragging my feet a little bit, just overthinking how I'm going to make this work. But basically, Thani, Alan, Lance, and Roy. I accidentally rescue instead of staff. I think I have Roy do the dodge tanking. I feel like I'm pretty sure that he's going to go for... Oh, okay, I did that so I don't get killer axed, right? And yeah, Roy is still the one dodge tanking. But I want to move these guys over toward the boss so I can heal Lance in case he gets hit. Not that he will. But, you know. Oh, heal Roy in case he gets hit. Sorry, he's at a 21 hit rate, which is not the worst. And then I decide I'm going to let Rucker get the kill because he's popping off so hard statistically that we're going to let him fucking cook. I get that B support between Alan and Roy, which is huge. Start building some Clarine, Alan, and Clarine, Dieck, and Rucker support triangle as well. I'm like, alright, Rucker's the one that I want getting both supports. So, let's end turn a million times. See if I get it. And there's only a few seconds left in the video. Let's see. Do I get one? Yeah, I get Clarine. And I don't get Dieck, and I think I realized that I'm maxed out on turns very shortly after. And alright, that's going to do it for Chapter 5 of my Iron Man. We'll see you in the next one.